and welcome to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Relationship Tuesday, and we're here to open your mind.
In a different lane. Living a good life, y'all. In a different lane now.
We are here on Relationship Tuesday, and we are here to open your mind. We have been talking about building this week. We talked about building our finances on Money Monday, building our faith in one another so we can all live the good life. So here on Relationship Tuesday, I decided to build on those ideas. Imagine that. So I wanted to open your mind to living differently in the world. Dr. Turner isn't here this morning, but he sent us a very interesting poem that he wrote. It's in regard to situationships and relationships, and how so many times in our lives we get backed into a corner maybe, or we get stuck in situationships rather than relationships. So we're going to discuss, situationships and, really becoming that full relationship in our personal lives. Then we're going to talk about our family. Do we have situationships in our family where we should have relationships? And then in our community. So here on Relationship Tuesday, we're going to break it all down to you, and we're going to open your mind. So I'm going to start with Dr. Turner's poem. He says, "See, my relationships definitely end, but my situationships last a lifetime. Relations have a middle, a beginning. They start at some point because they definitely end. But as long as we kicking it, liquor is rich, sex lifted, and combo leads to the bed, this doesn't have to end, but it complicates life. When I want a relationship, because relationships trump situationships. But situations are easy. Relationships require focus. Where situations can be blurry, there's love involved, and feelings too. But I can't get crazy and run up and check you. You send those threatening texts about catching me with someone else, but then you ease back when you sweating and leg spaghetti. See, my relationships definitely end, but my situationships last a lifetime. See, you really excite me, but you don't unlock me. While you say I'm your key, I appreciate soulful references, but my soul's not yours to keep. I've listened, and I try, and I pray for a keen eye, but I would be foolish of me. Lie. Honesty is the best. Relationships require extraordinary. My life is rifled with situationships that please me. Sex that is easy. Combo that's average. Excitement that is not always flattering. So it's tough to take the next step. When the steps are short, getting closer is my desire. But overcoming the past makes it farther than it might be worth. So enjoying situationships means no one gets hurt. Relationships mean vulnerabilities, openness, and giving freely. Situationships have mixed text and late night calls with known request. See, my relationships definitely end, but my situationships last a lifetime. It's an omen, I guess. Situationships don't bring test, so there's nothing to fail or gain. Just a lot of fun times and empty refrains. Songs mean a lot less, and movie nights are an investment at best. I have to admit, relationship goals are still my dream. To have a house, some kids, my own queen. Lots of love, filling every room. Some relationship stumbles that keep me humble. No cheating or drama. Just getting better at pleasing my little mama. But learning the one I got because no one can sex me better. She keeps me around because no man can get her wetter. I'm a kill Brian. My kids look up to me as father, and the future just means more gravy. Yeah, my life is rifled with situationships, but this is for the birds. I think I'm ready to find my sunshine so I can leave my situationships and write the book of love that I deserve. That was Dr. Brian Turner. Now, I hope y'all know that I was Turner because it
He
wasn't.
wrote that?
He wrote that.
That's impressive.
Exactly.
I mean, not saying that he's not capable. I mean, that was nice. That
and
was
look,
real good.
he was listening, so he's sending me a text saying, sorry, yes, that was definitely from a man's point of view.
Yeah, I like that.
But, it says so much to where we are. And, this is Relationship Tuesday, and I said I wanted to break it down with regard to, our interpersonal relationships with, male, female, and then, our family relationships, and then our community relationships and building them. Because so many times we do have situationships, and we think that that's okay and that's going to be fulfilling for us. But is it really fulfilling? Because you really just end up empty when all you generally want is, something more. At least from my point of view. I mean, now everybody's at different stages of their lives, but I do believe that if you are interested in just a situationship, then you should date people who are interested in situationships. Stop messing with people who's looking for a relationship.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, but hurt people.
Right.
And then we continue this cycle, and then it goes on into our families. That's why we have a breakdown of families. And then we have a breakdown of community. It all starts with one person. It all starts with us having a relationship with another person. But if we don't have that trust, that faith, that love for that other person, like Brian says in his poem, to open up and have vulnerabilities on any level, even with, the race conversation, if we can't have conversation and be vulnerable and be like, this is honestly how I feel because this has been my exposure, no one's going to judge you. That's been your exposure. But until you can admit that to yourself, how can you even start a dialogue of an honest dialogue?
Yeah.
So we talked about situationships, and I was messing with you with text messages when we were getting ready for the show. I think we've all had them. I know I've had, relationships where I was like, this is not going anywhere. I know it's not going anywhere, but it's like, well what am I doing it for? What's the point?
Well, I mean,
bored?
You probably knew what you were doing it for. Maybe you were having fun or you were passing the time. Or
it was just after my divorce and I was bored.
Well,
I was like,
but see, that's a reason though.
I decided to go see a movie with.
That's what I'm saying. So it's a reason that, just because you have a reason doesn't mean it's a good reason.
Right. It was a bad reason.
But it's a reason. So, I'm sure your friend, whoever he was, maybe he felt like it was, this is cool. But I think the situationships, it's beneficial if you're trying to protect yourself. If you want to protect your feelings and you don't really want to be, super committed to somebody, because it's a cold world, man. I mean, you look at relationships now, it's brutal when people break up, and especially when you have like money tied up or, you have kids involved. A situationship seems like, that's the easy road. It's not.
It is the easy road.
It definitely is. But you have to be able, if you're gonna do that, you got to be able to take what comes with it. If it doesn't turn into anything else, you can't change the rules in the third quarter. You can't say, well, I'm in a situationship, but you know what? I want this person to be more than what it's been. And that's how things get messed up, like if you're going to do that, have the conversation up front, be open and honest, but that's why people don't be open and honest in the first place, because they don't trust that the other person is gonna roll with it.
Thank you, Henry, for breaking that down.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We don't trust each other. No one is willing to have those conversations, even if it might benefit you, because there are some people who aren't ready for a relationship and like, you know what, I just want somebody to hang out with.
Yeah.
I'm in school or, I'm building a business and I'm just not ready for that long-term relationship yet. But that doesn't mean I don't want companionship. I don't want to go see the movie. I don't want to, if my friends are going out for dinner and there's a +1 situation where I want to have somebody like that fallback person or whatever you want to call it,
right,
to be able to do that with. So, having that open dialogue can lead to so many things, but it's being honest with the other person. And if you really want a relationship at some point in life, you should be like, I don't want it now, but I do want it in the future. So if this does turn that way, I may open my mind to that and even be honest that way.
Right.
Because there's some people who, let's just say you don't want kids. No, I don't want kids ever. Period. Don't want
say
kids.
it. Or I can't have kids.
Or I can't have kids. Yes,
that.
you
Yeah.
have to say that.
Yeah.
And then there might be somebody who said, nope, I don't want kids either. But like 5-10 years into it, well, you know what? I kind of do want kids.
Right.
Like,
Right.
how you switch, and that's a real life situation. That's very difficult.
Look, if you keep the lines of communication open and you're honest, you get far doing that. To me, people, they mess up when they feel like they scared to lose somebody. Man, say how you feel. Tell the truth.
If they're supposed to be there, they're going to be there.
They're going to be there no matter what.
And you know what? I think we've all had that mindset, on the path of life. But I think, at some point, I hope we learn. Yeah. But I think that's really the struggle. When you're trying to hold on to something, the tighter you try to hold on to something, the more you should realize that that probably isn't the thing for you.
Yeah.
If you have to hold on like that, because if they wanted to be there, they're going to be there.
Right.
I mean, we talked about, men who cheat or women who cheat. They may cheat, but if they want to be with you, they're still going to be with you. And it's for you to make the decision if you want to take them back or not.
Right.
But they're going to come back to home base.
Man, people respect honesty. Honesty is underrated. It's underrated, man.
Hello.
You'll be surprised what people are willing to put up with if you're honest with them.
Because, number one, we all know that we're not perfect.
Right.
We all have our set of problems that we're all throwing into the bucket. Mm-hmm. Now, this is mine, and this is yours. Now, let's see what we can deal with.
Right.
And there's more often than not, people are going to deal with more than you think they will.
Right. I got a buddy. I'm not going to say names. But,
please don't.
Yeah.
Not here.
He's not married, but, he has a girlfriend, and he's thinking about marrying her. And she is into girls, right? Mm-hmm. And she offered to do some things with him, bring a third party into, the room. And he's like, oh, my God, I can't believe she said that. And I'm like, man, look, what if she didn't say that? What if she just kept it to herself? She's like, oh, I'm going out, me and Susan are going shopping today. And, the phone gets cut off or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's hard to not trust somebody already, but, when they got the same sex involved, that's really more difficult if you have trust issues. You know what I mean? Because what you gonna say? Well, you can't. Yeah, or you can't go to the mall with your girl. You know what I mean? It's not like she's saying I'm going with Jason. So my point is, she's being open and honest. Look, she's being straight up. Take it or leave it. Right. Don't chastise a person for being honest.
He has to know what he's willing to put up with.
What you're willing to put up with, right? Right.
Because, I don't know how I would deal with that situation personally.
Well, yeah. I mean, everybody got their own way of dealing with it, but
I think that's one of those situations where they need to go sit on the couch with Henry Jolly.
Yeah. I've been trying to pull him in.
Our resident relationship therapist, Henry Jolly's in the house. That's one of those sit-down conversations you need to have. But you know what? I have to give her props for being honest.
Yeah.
And that's hard a lot of times because most people, you think when you're being honest and you put yourself out there that somebody's going to, reject you. That's half the reason or the majority of the reason people don't want to be honest because you fear there's a fear of rejection.
Yeah.
They're not going to like me. They're not going to talk to me. They're going to leave me alone or whatever the situation may be. But if they are going to not deal with you for being honest up front, how do you think that they're going to act when they find out whatever it is later on?
Yeah, man.
Like, open your mind to that. Seriously. Like, do you want to lie for the rest of your life? Do you want your relationship to be based on a lie? You're creating a situationship because it's not a relationship.
That's why people get caught up and they get in trouble because they lie. Even down to the cheating thing. You got guys that'll take their ring off. Now you still got the what is it called?
The tan.
You still got the ring
line.
tan, right? No, I'm not married. Me and my wife, we going through some problems or whatever. Whatever. We separated.
Mm-hmm.
But and here it is, they meet another chick and they trying to say, they want to pursue her. They lying just to get what they really want, which is get her in a vulnerable position. So they'll do that, but then later on, when the truth start coming out, now they wondering like why she's about to just, go crazy on him because he lied. If he was up front, maybe she would have stuck around and be that little side piece. Never know. I'm just saying.
Henry.
I'm just saying.
I know we're looking for all points of view, but
Yep,
this is the
yep,
good life. So open
yep.
your mind to living differently in the world. We're discussing relationships, building relationships, people who are in situationships. And if you are in a situationship and you want a relationship, we're going to discuss how to sustain relationships when we get back, with interpersonal relationships and with our families. So open your mind. We'll be right back, y'all.
Hello, I'm R.C. Blakes Jr.
And I'm Lisa Blakes.
And we want to welcome you to the 2016 Swim Conference, Sisters Winning in Ministry. Check out who's going to be with us.
Ladies, join us at Swim Conference with Prophetess Shamik Johnson Broomfield of the Embassy Life Institute, Dr. Christian Fellowship Worship Center, Life Coach Rul Ta Kim, Pastor Sam Blakes of the New Home Ministries, and the Money Coach Dr. G of Living and Victory.
This year is the year of activation for women in ministry.
Yes, it is.
And I want you to register for this conference. Meet us right here in the city of New Orleans. God is going to do a new thing in you. What's growing in you? What gift has God given you? What ministry is developing in you? We want to activate it.
Register for Swim Conference 2016.
Join us July 20th through the 23rd, 2016 in the great city of New Orleans. Go to swimconference.org and register today.
Are you looking for a better way to get fit? Bored with the same old routines? Looking for results or a way to instill discipline in the kids? Tiger Rock Martial Arts is the answer with Taekwondo, kickboxing, and self-defense classes. Tiger Rock diversifies your training in ways that allows individuals of all ages and fitness levels to feel like a champion. Join Tiger Rock today. TigerRockNola.com or 504-455-9694. That's 504-455-9694 with a 3-class starter pack starting for only $38, which includes your training uniform. Learn, grow, and succeed with Tiger Rock's 3 convenient locations: Old Metairie, West Bank, and Clearview. There's no better time to start gaining strength, skills, and protection for life than now. 504-455-9694. 504-455-9694. See you on the mat.
Carter Business Development delivers. For businesses to compete, they must have access. Let CBD be your bridge for business development services, radio advertising, social media marketing, brand ambassador, outreach, and access. Contact Carter Business Development at 504-400-7127 or email Eileen@tglradioshow.com. Carter Business Development creates unfolding opportunities. CBD connects the dots from where you are to where you want to be. Join the good life now with Carter Business Development, 504-400-7127, 504-400-7127. As quoted, a man who stops advertising to save money is like a man who stops a clock to save time. Let CBD save you time and give you access. Call 504-400-7127, 504-400-7127. Take the steps required for access so you can live the good life too with Carter Business Development. That's 504-400-7127.
Hi, I'm Henry Jolly, your relationship expert and nationally certified counselor. Everyone at some point in their life goes through struggles. I'm a firm believer that people have the ability to will themselves into good situations, but sometimes they may need some assistance. Being a loving husband, father, and successful businessman while having a passion for the counseling profession has allowed me to gain experience with a variety of these struggles. Let's work together to achieve your individual, family, or marital potential. Come and see me at the New Orleans Growth Center, located at 3712 MacArthur Boulevard on the West Bank in Suite 209. You can reach me at 504-259-8671 or by email, which is henry.jolly@yahoo.com. Thanks for your time, and I'm looking forward to working with you soon.
Are you satisfied with your current financial position? My name is Kenneth Barnes, President and CEO of KB Enterprises, where we specialize in putting together step-by-step financial action steps for your plan for today and for tomorrow. Whether you're 50 to 85 and need assistance with your final expenses, we have coverage options for every situation. Let us put life back into your finances. Call us today at 504-914-1202. That's 504-914-1202.
Small businesses play an important role in society, and L&R Security is no different. L&R Security delivers safety and comfort to our neighborhoods, events, apartment communities, conventions, work sites, festivals, and your business. L&R Security can be reached at 504-943-3191 to ensure the safety of your employees, customers, family, friends, and you. L&R Security has made its mark in the security arena for over 37 years and will faithfully continue that tradition. Call today for your personalized consultation to ensure your security needs are met. L&R Security differentiates itself by creating partnerships with our clients and guards. We are now hiring armed and unarmed guard professionals, retired military, sheriffs, and PD to grow with us and impact our community. Be a part of the change with L&R Security. Call us now at 504-943-3191. 504-943-3191.
When I got hit in a car accident, the insurance company tried to give me less than I knew I deserved. I called Maurice Reed Jr. He got me $150,000.
I'm Maurice Reed Jr. If you got hit in a car accident, call me, 488-HELP.
WBOK, real talk for real times.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Relationship Tuesday, and we're here to open your mind. We are back on Relationship Tuesday, and we are here to open your mind. We are talking about building relationships, sustaining relationships, and building relationships with, people you may not have had a great relationship with in the past. So when Open Your Mind to Living Differently World, we talked about situationships, which, are kind of situations in your life that become, convenient, and how that convenience can become a little messy. Now we're going to discuss, family relationships. And so many times, the breakdown of the family is really the breakdown of our community and our fabric. So we want to open your minds to, getting that back together and getting that back on track. When relationships get messy, so many relationships get messy sooner or later, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, sometimes people need a good fight or a clearing of the air in order to get a relationship back on track. A conflict doesn't mean that the relationship has to come to an end. Remember, we often fight with the people we care about the most and with whom we share our greatest hopes. Because those are the people who know exactly what buttons to push, right, and how far to push them. But you cannot use that to your advantage to hurt somebody's feelings. So open your mind, because would you want someone to treat you that way? So I was looking up, and compiled some ideas that might come in handy when things get hard. And so this is something, I'd like, people to really listen to. So if you're dealing with a conflict in your life, please open your mind to some of these ideas. I'm going to throw them out there, and then I'm going to have our resident, therapist, Henry Jolly, give us his 2 cents on it.
True.
Number 1, take time to listen to each other. It's not always easy. Each person should take time to listen without interrupting while the other person talks. Henry, how hard is that for people?
I mean,
look at your face as soon as I said that.
Well, I mean, with that, you can't really understand if you're ready to talk all the time. You got to sit back and listen. That's one thing, me going to school for counseling, that taught me to be more of a listener than a talker. So I can sit there, somebody, just not even in a counseling session. If I have a friend that needs advice, they could talk for a whole hour. I don't have to say nothing. I'm just soaking it in, making mental notes in my head, and then I'll ask questions when they're done.
I want to throw that out to the listeners. How many of you can just sit there for an hour and let somebody talk?
It was hard at first, because I used to be like, wait, time out. So you right. You want to interrupt, but you got to listen, because, you go to talk and you might mess up somebody's train of thought, or, you may ask a question that you didn't need to ask if you would have sat there and kept listening.
So the big one, y'all. Take time to listen to each other without interrupting the other person. Number 2, put yourself in the other person's shoes. Everyone in a conflict has distantly different views of a situation. In the thick of a fight, people are usually convinced that they are absolutely right. Duh. Try to see why the other person sees things the way that they do. Just your attempt to do so will help the other person see that you are trying. So try to put yourself in the other person's shoes, Henry.
That's a respect thing. You know, you have to respect another person's point of view and understand that people are going to disagree. Sometimes you have to just agree to disagree. It's okay.
How many people can actually do that, though? Most people like to prove their point. But do you need to prove your point to the detriment of the other person?
Nah, I mean, you know, no, you shouldn't.
You're like, well, that's so much easier said than done. Well, you know people who go in on somebody and like they want to see them sitting there crying, you know, before they like stop. And you're like, really? And then you start looking crazy because it's like you needed to do all that to make yourself feel better.
Well, if you say I feel, if you use the I feel
that you sideways.
I feel, in my opinion, you know, and that way it's not a direct attack. Instead of like, you stupid, yeah. Instead of, I feel you stupid. You know, in receiving that, you got to be like, well, you entitled your opinion. I could care less.
You were so silly.
You gotta have it together.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Now we want to look at what is true about what the other person is saying. So once you put yourself in their shoes, look at what is actually true about what they are saying. See if you can correct the situation, and if you need to apologize, then you need to do that. It may feel horrible, but an apology can often help a relationship get back on the right track. So if there is some truth to the other person's point of view, be open to apologizing. Imagine that.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be willing to admit when you're wrong.
How many people can't? Somebody was talking about yesterday about people who have like narcissistic tendencies and like they just can't apologize. Like they can't do it. Like it physically pains them to.
They're childish, man.
Apologize.
I mean, that's a childish person.
Oh.
You know, now you have some people that really don't believe that they're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a whole nother ball game. You know, if you know you're wrong, you're like, I'm refusing to apologize. No, I'm not gonna say it until they tell me first. You really shouldn't be apologizing for them. You really should be apologizing for you.
Ooh.
You know, this should make you feel better by apologizing. You know what? I'm gonna be the bigger person and say, look, I'm sorry for things I said or things I did. And they may say, man, screw you, whatever. But you got to be secure in yourself the way you don't even care. I mean, you can't let other people control you that much to where their response or their opinion about you affects you that much.
Right.
You can't. You got to worry about you.
I say this. Beware of the person who cannot apologize. If they can't apologize, you might want to.
You know where I'm at, though, in my life?
Mind.
I don't even need an apology.
I'm
serious.
That.
I don't even need it.
But do you deal with the people who can't do it?
I mean, I don't think anybody matters to me that much where like they have to apologize. Yeah, like they have to apologize to me for me to forgive them. You know what I mean? Like they don't have to even say that. I guess maybe actions could show me that you're sorry for something. But yeah, I'm not like, man, they better tell me they sorry. You know, I'm just not even like that.
Right, exactly. And sometimes you have to accept the apology that you're never going to get for yourself. So just move on, like, you know, keep it moving. Just like you say, accept the apology you're never going to get.
Right.
Separating emotions from reality. Ooh, Henry. Everyone has emotions that surface intermittently. People often say they don't mean what they are in the middle when they're emotionally upset. You know, allow time and space for people to feel their emotions before you try to work things out. How many times as you're arguing with like your mate or a family member, and as soon as you see them, you go run up on them and go, whatever the situation is, you go in, or you know, like sometimes you need to like slow your roll, have the conversation when you are emotionally available to have that conversation, because when you're sideways in your anger and you're full of wrath and stuff, you're blinded by it. You can't even have a conversation eloquently. I mean, you can't even deliver what you, in my opinion, I mean,
acting on emotion is always bad. Just imagine in 2009 if the Saints were like, Oh, Drew Brees threw an interception? Let's say if he threw 4 in one game. You know what? Get rid of him. Let's bench him. He took us to a Super Bowl if you would have gave him a chance. You know, he really did that year. So you can't act on emotions. That's never, ever a good thing. How many times you been at a job to where you hate your job, you're mad with your boss, somebody did something like, you know what, man, I hate this place. Everybody's been there, but there's light at the end of the tunnel. Right. So be confident in that. Not always now, you know, if you really feel that way and it continues, then do what you got to do. But you can't be emotional when you make this, you know, major decisions. You know, you shouldn't get married based on emotions. You shouldn't get divorced based on emotions. You shouldn't quit a job based on emotions. You shouldn't have kids based on emotions. You got to use your brain. Shout out to my former teacher, Dr. Matt Morris. He taught me this back when I was in school. And I asked him a question. I said, do you think people should get married based on how they feel in their heart or their mind? Most people are going to say, what?
Their heart.
Their heart. Follow your heart. And I knew that was bogus. And he said, no, man, you gotta use your brain. Because your heart could lead you in all kind of different directions. Mm-hmm. You know, your heart will have you, man. I mean, I don't even want to say. You might run up credit card bills because your heart says so. Right. You know what I mean? Like, oh, let me buy all this stuff because you depressed or something. Mm-hmm. But logically in your mind, should you really be doing that? You got to do what makes sense. Right. At the end of the day, you know, I tell people all the time, whatever you do, if you got a big decision you got to make, get a pros and cons list. Get out a sheet of paper, write down all of my pros, all of my cons. Make a tough decision. Like Cat Williams said, make a pimp decision. That's what it is.
Oh, my gosh. Well, this was one of the other ones that I'm sure that you will appreciate. Don't give up on your principles. Don't sacrifice what you believe in to make a relationship work. If you give up on your principles, you won't be effective and the relationship won't work anyway. Don't give up on your principles. But how many of us do kind of bend a little bit with our morals or character, and then it's something that eventually leads to, you know, kind of drama. You know, these are like little red flags that we're talking about that deal with interpersonal relationships and family relationships. Right. But if we're not paying attention to these red flags, I mean, it's just going to go awry.
Yeah.
Like principles, like, you know, like loyalty is a must, but you see, but they may be loyal to you, but you see that they're not loyal to everyone around them. How do you, and people still move forward in a relationship? But I'm going to be honest, and I don't care who's listening. Right. I could not date a man who does not take care of his children. Like, you just immediately off the list. I don't care how well you treat me or what we do. Yeah. We could be flying here, there, and everywhere. Yeah. But you don't take care of your children? Yeah. Like, that is a fundamental character flaw.
And it's fun.
Like how do you? I know you have pictures with your boys all the time, videos. You do all kind of stuff. I know you couldn't even imagine it.
Man, I'm in love.
But there
with
are women,
dudes.
exactly. Yeah. But there are women and men who date, you know, both sides. I'm not just talking about one. I'm talking about myself because I'm a female. But you know, there are women who, you know, may not deal with their children just to go out and you know, date these guys, and the children are always, you know, by the grandmother, the family, or whatever the situation may be, or the dad. Or they're always by the dad. Yeah. Or vice versa. When you're dating someone, if they're not taking care of their children, that is a fundamental character flaw. I don't care what you say about them.
Yeah. That means if you wouldn't take care of your children, that means you'll abandon anything. You know, like, come on, man, that's people you made. That's people that you are responsible for, and then they're going to eventually be responsible for other people. You know, it's a domino effect. So you're not in their lives. You're not doing anything for them. What is that teaching them? And if you believe in God and everything, is that what God do?
Right.
Did God just leave you?
Right. God, your father. He didn't just leave you.
He didn't leave
you. With you.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
exactly.
I mean, you're absolutely right.
And that's one of those things where they say, you know, don't give up on your principles. That I have seen more often than not, oh, well, you know, the grandparents just want to take care of the baby or whatever. Now, helping is one thing.
Helping one thing,
but
not
when
raising.
when you're dealing with someone and they never have their children, that should be the biggest red flag you have ever seen in your entire. I'm so serious.
Yeah.
The biggest red flag you have ever seen in your entire life.
Mm-hmm.
It says something to the heart of who they are. And I think you need to open your mind to living differently in the world, because we're talking about building our relationships and building our family. If you want to build a family, how you build a family on somebody who doesn't take care of their family?
Can't.
You can't.
Mm-mm.
Open your mind to living differently in the world. And these are things, while we're talking about building, in my opinion, that have been breaking down our community. So we're going to talk about building our community and building relationships with people we might not necessarily like or have different cultures. Imagine that. We'll be right back. We're building relationships, y'all, right here on The Good Life.
Small businesses play an important role in society, and L&R Security is no different. L&R Security delivers safety and comfort to our neighborhoods, events, apartment communities, conventions, work sites, festivals, and your business. L&R Security can be reached at 504-943-3191 to ensure the safety of your employees, customers, family, friends, and you. L&R Security has made its mark in the security arena for over 37 years and will faithfully continue that tradition. Call today for your personalized consultation to ensure your security needs are met. L&R Security differentiates itself by creating partnerships with our clients and guards. We are now hiring armed and unarmed guard professionals, retired military, sheriffs, and PD to grow with us and impact our community. Be a part of the change with L&R Security. Call us now at 504-943-3191. 504-943-3191.
Hi, I'm Henry Jolly, your relationship expert and nationally certified counselor. Everyone at some point in their life goes through struggles. I am a firm believer that people have the ability to will themselves into good situations, but sometimes they may need some assistance. Being a loving husband, father, and successful businessman while having a passion for the counseling profession has allowed me to gain experience with a variety of these struggles. Let's work together to achieve your individual, family, or marital potential. Come and see me at the New Orleans Growth Center, located at 3712 MacArthur Boulevard on the West Bank in Suite 209. You can reach me at 504-259-8671 or by email, which is henry.jolly@yahoo.com. Thanks for your time, and I'm looking forward to working with you soon.
Are you looking for a better way to get fit? Bored with the same old routines? Looking for results or a way to instill discipline in the kids? Tiger Rock Martial Arts is the answer with Taekwondo, kickboxing, and self-defense classes. Tiger Rock diversifies your training in ways that allows individuals of all ages and fitness levels to feel like a champion. Join Tiger Rock today. TigerRockNola.com or 504-455-9694. That's 504-455-9694 with a 3-class starter pack starting for only $38, which includes your training uniform. Learn, grow, and succeed with Tiger Rock's 3 convenient locations: Old Metairie, West Bank, and Clearview. There's no better time to start gaining strength, skills, and protection for life than now. 504-455-9694. 504-455-9694. See you on the mat.
Hello, I'm Horace C. Blakes Jr.
And I'm Lisa Blakes.
And we want to welcome you to the 2016 Swim Conference, Sisters Winning in Ministry. Check out who's going to be with us.
Ladies, join us at Swim Conference with Prophetess Shamik Johnson Broomfield of the Embassy Life Institute, Dr. Christian Fellowship Worship Center, Life Coach Real Talk Kim, Pastor Sam Blakes of the New Home Ministries, and the Money Coach Dr. G of Living and Victory.
This year is the year of activation for women in ministry.
Yes, it is.
And I want you to register for this conference. Meet us right here in the city of New Orleans. God is going to do a new thing in you. What's growing in you? What gift has God given you? What ministry is developing in you? We want to activate it.
Register for Swim Conference 2016.
Join us July 20th through the 23rd, 2016 in the great city of New Orleans. Go to swimconference.org and register today.
Carter Business Development delivers. For businesses to compete, they must have access. Let CBD be your bridge for business development services, radio advertising, social media marketing, brand ambassador, outreach, and access. Contact Carter Business Development at 504-400-7127 or email Eileen@tglradioshow.com. Carter Business Development creates unfolding opportunities. CBD connects the dots from where you are to where you want to be. Join the good life now with Carter Business Development, 504-400-7127, 504-400-7127. As quoted, a man who stops advertising to save money is like a man who stops a clock to save time. Let CBD save you time and give you access. Call 504-400-7127, 504-400-7127. Take the steps required for access so you can live the good life too with Carter Business Development. That's 504-400-7127.
Are you satisfied with your current financial position? My name is Kenneth Barnes, President and CEO of KB Enterprises, where we specialize in putting together step-by-step financial action steps for your plan for today and for tomorrow. Whether you're 50 to 85 and need assistance with your final expenses, we have coverage options for every situation. Let us put life back into your finances. Call us today at 504-914-1202. That's 504-914-1202.
When I got hit in a car accident, the insurance company tried to give me less than I knew I deserved. I called Maurice Reed Jr. He got me $150,000.
I'm Morris Reed Jr. If you got hit in a car accident, call me, 488-HELP.
WBOK, real talk for real times.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Relationship Tuesday, and we're here to open your mind.
In a different lane.
We are here on Relationship Tuesday, and we have our resident therapist. We have Henry Jolly in the studio today. Henry, if they wanted to get in contact with you, how can they do that?
504-259-8671. I'll repeat again, 504-259-8671.
You're learning.
Yes.
Radio Land. You say it twice at least.
Yep.
Well, we have been talking about building relationships. We've been talking about, situationships this morning, and about, how we get into these relationships that aren't really relationships. We call them situationships, and how, you really have to discuss what you want and where you're going in life and where you're at, and be honest so that you can actually grow a relationship. We also got into, how to sustain a relationship and having that open dialogue and not, bending on your principles and things like that. And we also want to talk about, community relationships, and especially with everything going on in the world right now. Y'all know it's the good life, so I had to reel some of that in. I found some steps to take on how to build a relationship with people of different cultural backgrounds than your own. So I was like, this sounds right on point right now.
Interesting.
Exactly. So I was like, this is how we can, take some steps to build relationships within our own community, and I think this is some helpful tips for both sides. I should say all sides. Here are some common sense guidelines. Number 1, learn about the person's culture. Any effort will go a long way in showing that you care enough to find out about the reality of another person's life. And whether this be a cultural relationship or a community relationship, think how many times, even, we speak to Gumbo Talk Thursday, because we talk Gumbo Talk, and I don't know if y'all can see us, but we really are gumbo of ideas and colors and everything, and races and ages. We're Vietnamese, Rachel's white, I'm black, and then Terry is black. But it's a dynamic with all of us at different stages of our life. Some of them are empty nesters. Cindy has triplet 6-7-year-old boys. We're all at different, right? We're all at different levels of our life, but we can all, there's common ground between us. We're all mothers. We've all been at different stages challenges. We can all commiserate, with that child who's sick that doesn't want to go to sleep, colic, or, going through puberty or them dating or things like that. And we're all able to help each other. But we are learning about each other's, lives, but also cultures. We support Cindy with Viet, and they have these huge events in the East, where they have the Vietnamese food and stuff. I don't know about you, but
they call it Viet?
Viet is the name of her organization in the East.
Man, is it in Michoud?
Yeah, you know it.
My sister, her kids go there.
Really?
Yeah, they've been going there forever.
See?
Dang, that's
exactly.
tight.
Now you know. Open your mind. Cindy is on Thursday, but that's the whole point. And my son used to go to the international school. He went there for elementary school. And it really opens your mind to different cultures. They are literally immersed in different cultures. And he never had the black, white, or whatever thing. And I chose that school for that reason.
Right. Because
they're literally immersed and they have to learn about other cultures. But how many times do we do that for ourselves, where we, take our children and ourselves? We have festivals in Congo Square. You have, the German festivals. You have, the Hispanic festivals. You have the Vietnamese festivals. You have all type of cultural festivals. We need to actively go join in the culture and experience it. Eat the food, listen to the music, take our children and our families to go see what they're about.
Right.
And usually, they're just like us. Their families doing the same thing we're doing. Open your mind to living differently in the world and immerse yourself in somebody else's culture. You will realize you have more in common than not.
Huh. That's a whole nother show.
Is right?
That's why you got all of the problems you got in the country now, because people don't understand other people.
Exactly.
There you go.
But how many times do we take the opportunity to step out and do that? They have the Greek festival that's on the Bayou St. John. They have so many different festivals, that celebrate different cultures.
Right.
Let's open our mind and go try different foods. Do something differently. You can't sit in a box and expect it to change. You have to take a step out and do something different.
Yep.
And then putting yourself at the center of another person's culture. They said, especially if you're getting to know someone who is not part of a majority culture. Try going to their cultural events, which is what we were talking about. And if you're willing to take risks and put yourself in a situation in which you might feel uncomfortable, people will be more inclined to want to get to know you. Now, of course, in the black community, we say we feel like this every day, because we're in a lot of situations. But how many times I have to raise my hand and fault myself for this. Sometimes I do put myself in a box where I am only in the black community. Mm-hmm. I need to take my child and do things that are outside of, the black community and make sure that he sees everything else, because the world is not just black, it's not just white, it's not just Hispanic, it's not just Asian, it's we're all one.
Right.
And when we start acting like we're all one, then maybe we can do something differently. So Henry, I don't know what the next festival is, but I think we should get all the kids together and go, maybe eat some Greek food or some Indian food or
I'm down.
Look, we're already going.
Yeah, let me know.
Oh, we're already doing that. And then I'm sure you all will appreciate this. Taking a stand against the other person's oppression. I thought that one was loud. Mm-hmm. They say actions speak louder than words. And we are discussing here, how do you build relationships with people of different cultural backgrounds other than your own? So I say this for everyone. Take a stand against the person's oppression. Actions speak louder than words. People who experience oppression need allies to speak out against injustice. Strong relationships are forged when people act courageously on behalf of each other. Now, when I was reading this, I was like, imagine that. This is what the conversation is about in every part of the United States. This is what Black Lives Matter is about. This is exactly what it's about. It's about taking a stand against oppression. I don't care who's oppressed. If someone's being oppressed, you're taking a stand for them, whether it be our Native Americans and, how many of, think about that.
Right.
Whether it's been the Black Americans, whether it's been, the Italian Americans, or it's been, the Hispanic American, whatever situation it has been. If someone is being oppressed, take a stand. And right now we see so largely that it is the African American community. So we need our counterparts in the world to take a stand against our oppression, because that's what community is all about. It shouldn't matter if we're blue, black, purple, green, gold. We're all Saints fans, right?
Right. Because
when the Saints win the Super Bowl, we don't care what color we are.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. I mean, any sports team.
Right.
Yeah, sports always unites everybody.
Right. But, I'm trying to be funny, but I'm being real.
Yeah, the Olympics. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
Yeah.
And at what point are we going to start acting like the United States of America? And last but not least, with regards to how to build relationships with people of different cultural backgrounds other than your own, that it's okay to make mistakes. You may have to make mistakes as you build relationships with people who have different cultural backgrounds other than your own. But people are generally forgiving, especially if your intentions are good. Remember, hang in there even if you feel rejected. I'm going to make y'all laugh. I know a lot of Jewish prayers. Would you have thought that of me?
Nope. I would have stereotyped you and said, nope, she don't know.
Right, exactly. But
she knows some Creole prayers.
and you see, people say I'm Creole, and I'm like, the first thing I'm like, I am not Creole. Creole means born in the colony. I am black. Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. But nonetheless, I went to some of the JCC camps when I was little. And so I know a lot about the Jewish faith. But as well as, racial cultures, I even mean religious cultures. They have a lot of Catholics who are like, oh, I don't want to be Baptist. Oh, I don't want to be Jewish. Oh, I don't want to be this, that, and the other. But I'm like, do we even know what the differences are? So many faiths are actually based in Christianity. So open your mind. It's not always as different as you think it is. So open your mind, put yourself in different positions. We have a lot more in common than we do differently. And I say this all the time. When a doctor goes to medical school or when you went to counseling, they didn't say this is how you counsel the black family. This is how you counsel the white family. This is how you counsel the Asian family. This is how you counsel this, that, and the other. You learn about them. You learn about their exposure. You learn what they've been through, and then you counsel them. It doesn't matter what color they are, right?
That's true, but they do teach you in the textbook.
See, don't tell me that I'm wrong. I'm just playing.
No, you right. To an extent, but they do tell you to expect certain things from the black community and expect certain things from the white community. It was a little
then I'll
racist
say
in the
this.
book. I
will say this. Forget the counseling.
Yeah.
When a medical doctor is learning surgery,
right.
That's a better way to say it.
There you
they
go.
do not say, well, this is a white patient,
so
white therefore
heart.
You're good. This is a white
black
heart. So you're going to cut them this way. This is a black heart. So we want to open people's minds with, regard to building love, tolerance, compassion, and understanding in our community. And you know what? It's sometimes we have to be the bigger person.
Yep.
You know what? I think, we've had to be the bigger person a lot. But you know what? Why not one more time?
Why not?
Take the step out to go learn somebody. Right, exactly.
Keep doing it.
If that's what my child is going to see me doing, because they are going to watch by our actions, not by our words. So if he sees me stepping out and taking, the opportunity to shake somebody's hand, to meet, to step out on a limb and to, do something to grow the good life for my community, then, that's what the good life is to me. I'm hopefully opening his mind and hopefully open somebody else's heart, Henry, what do you think about, the community with your kids? I'm sure because especially with what you do, you have friends I've seen all of your friends, and I could pick a color, any color. I've seen some gold, purple, and green ones.
Yeah, I mean,
Mardi Gras.
Diverse over here, man. Diversity. We try to expose them to everything. It's not a black world. It's not a white world. We live in St. Bernard Parish, which is predominantly white, but our business is in New Orleans East, which is predominantly black. So, I mean, they're around everything, and I want them to not look at color at all. Just look at people as people and treat people, based on how they need to be treated, not based on their race or their color. Because you're born with a certain, as a certain race, into a certain race. That's like downing a person who was born into poverty. You want to down them because they were born into that.
Right.
Okay, so you might have been blessed. You were born rich. Okay, good for you.
Right.
That you shouldn't be, downing other people in a situation they were born into. Now, if somebody goes out and does something to make themselves, viewed in a negative light, that's one thing. You go kill somebody or something, and, people judging you based on that. Yeah, that's different, but it's comedy to me sometimes.
We're talking about building relationships today and sustaining relationships. And one of the major points that has kept coming around is, number one, learning about other people and being loyal and trustworthy.
Right.
And having a little, having respect for one another.
Right.
What happened to being your brother's keeper? Love thy neighbor.
You're supposed
Open your
to.
mind.
You're supposed to.
Open your mind, y'all. This is the good life.
Get in the church.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I want to remind everyone, speaking of that, I want to remind everyone that the Good Life Radio Show is brought to you by the SWIM Conference. That is Sisters Winning in Ministry. It starts tomorrow, July 20th. There are a couple spaces left, and I only mean a couple for real. So make sure you go on swimconference.org. That is swimconference.org. Sisters Winning in Ministry. And it's not just for the ladies, it's for the men as well. It is out in New Orleans East, and it is something you do not want to miss. I am not kidding. Especially with everything that's going on in our community, it's time for us to come together. It's time for us to build. Let's do that at the SWIM Conference, swimconference.org. Open your mind, y'all. We're out.
All right.